welcome back to our Pandas class, or actually Python class, but we are working with the Pandas library, which is quite extensive, and today we will learn to do some plotting. Again, things we use is matplotlib, right? We will actually integrate that in our Pandas workflow. So let's get started on so I'm skipping for now the rest of the chapter 2 with the time series. We'll do that maybe later in this course or in the following course, again, since we have so much material. But I think it's important to do some material on visualization, again, because, well, we are visual, right? We are visual people, right? We are visual beings, right? So obviously, right, we want to we are, we work better with visualizations, again. So getting straight describe, or visual, tables is not enough, right? So we'll use plot method that's built into Pandas. There's actually a way to change the default plotting engine, actually, but that's something for another time. But right now it's using under the hood as default, it's using matplotlib, which we already used before a little bit, right? So let me start with a simple plot. Let's see if we can do like a sine plot, maybe create a data frame with sine values and cosine values. Let's do that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's simple, right? NP. Of course, I need to import numpy as np, right? NumPy is a numerical library for Python, right? Again, so let's see if this works. Let's see if this is how much range 1 to 100 x sin and cosine. Okay. Let's see this head. See if this works. Yeah, it looks okay. 1, right? 2 radians, right? These are of course radians. X is in radians. X is in radians. Right. Okay. Right. So this is okay, but let's plot it. Let's plot the data. Right. Thank you. Well, we don't need it. Plot directly from Pandas. Yeah, that should do it. Let's take a look. All right, we could import, of course, we could have imported it. That should do it. Let's see if it works. But it works immediately, right? Do a quick dirty plot, right? So Pandas has a quick and dirty plot built in, right? You see even the type we can give it different coordinates, I mean different columns, right, as y values, an x, a single x, for example, right? But of course this is just getting started. You can do many more things. So in the above example we saw how the default plot is a line plot. We can also plot a scatter plot, of course. Let's do that. Right, let's do that. Why not? Right, and let's see, didn't like scatter plot. X and y must be same size. Interestingly enough, xy. Maybe you can do again just the x. Let's see. I wonder why it doesn't work. Let's try this. I thought it worked directly. Will it work? Yeah. Why didn't this work correctly? Did I do something wrong? X is x. So 1. Right. Because, well, yeah, it works, but it's actually, of course, we need probably a range, better range, probably, right? We need probably something. This is not a good range. Probably, I would say numbers for something like np range, let's say 0 to, I don't know, 10 on 0.1, right? That will be better. Let's try that. And again, we can do this. So what is this values, right? Maybe you will see this, right? And I'll show you the first, like, say 15 values. You'll see the idea, right? It's an array. You see something like this. So unlike range, I can take floats, right, as steps, right? So pretty useful, right? So up to 9.9, right? So let's see about this. So this might be more useful. I will give this immediately here. Right, quick and dirty, right? This might be better, right? Now, something is extra. Something is too much. X, that's a lot. We have one extra. Looks okay. Why is this so? This is close. Oh, here's one more. One too much. Yeah, now we're good. Let's try it. Let's see this. Yeah, that's much better. Let's plot that. Yeah, that's much better, right? Okay, yeah, that's much better because we are in radians, right? So let's see our plot for here, right? Yeah, of course. Now it's much better. Again, plot both x and y. I think you could do both in also, but apparently there's maybe some setting which you need to see if you want to plot scatter plots, multiple scatter plots using same data frame. Like line plots, you could do it, right? But y plots, maybe we'll do it during the break. You can't do it immediately, right? Okay, but hopefully you get the idea, right? So of course you could do this. Of course you could do the same. So of course you could have plotted the above using matplotlib, of course, right? Something like, yeah. So basically that's all it is, right? Okay. So now we get to the, of course, the workshop. I have the materials from is quite. It's pretty, I would say, hardcore, meaning relatively advanced. But let's see how we do, right? So we will get our data, right? Remember we had our TSA melted holiday travel. Do we have it actually? Let's check. TSA melted holiday travel. Oh, we do have it, right? We have our new year. Yeah, we have it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And we are going to read it, right? Data. We go back up one folder, right? Data TSA melted holiday travel. We're going to use parse dates. We're going to make it parse dates, right? Index column is going to be the date because it's kind of time series basically, right? Years, days, travelers, right? Let's take a look. And looks like we read it. Okay, great. Yes, this is, so now we have our data. We are ready to plot. Again, it's going to be basically using, this is a data frame, right? We can see it here in our variables, right? We have a data frame of df, the one I made, and the one from we loaded, right? And you can see the shape, right? And so it's in memory. These are configurations. These are Jupyter specific configurations for SVG. If you read about here, right? This is magic commands. There are special magic commands using the percentage sign. These are not Python. These are Jupyter, basically Jupyter magic for specific things. Kind of cool stuff. There's lots of cool commands here, right? Built-in magics, right? So I'll give you a link here. The magics, right? And yeah, it's here, right? The link is already here. Okay, but let's see if it works without this setup, right? Maybe you want SVG. So what's SVG? Scalable vector graphics, right? SVG stands for yeah, scalable vector graphics, right? We'll see if this works. But again, matplotlib inline. This is actually, we have, I already did this. This is inline. So inline actually already, it worked already. Right, in the notebook, right? But however, right, again, this is, it worked without this. And actually it doesn't like it, right? Right, so it doesn't like this, Jupyter says inside Visual Studio Code, right? Maybe the commands wouldn't work here, but okay, right. So again, both of these are so-called Jupyter magic commands, right? Matplotlib inline, but actually on my machine they are already set. Let's see if this works actually, but you might want to run it. See it, yeah. So I need, of course, these. I need to move away, right? Escape A. Yeah, on this I need to move it away because these are special commands which tells the rendering engine, this display how it should behave. That's a comment, right? So now, yeah, it works. Let's see what happens now. So we're gonna plot on, but again, here, remember we have it here. This is our database. This is our data frame. I'll go back to our TSA is equal like this, right? Let's check TSA head. So again, it tries to rush this data, right? So we have a 7-day moving average and year-to-day mean, right? Year to the current day. So these are actual special commands. Travelers column, it does a rolling 7-day average, right? On expanding, travelers expanding mean, right? So this gives you a 7-day moving average on, this gives you year-to-date mean, year-to-date, to up-to-date mean, right? Pretty useful functions again. So basically what we're doing is this command says these double stars expands the, unpacks the dictionary. Remember that there's an unpacking dictionary because the sign takes keyword arguments, right? So basically it's a way of, we could have done this also by hand, of course, but this is how this works. I can show you again. I'll make again if this scares you, right? Because you have a couple different concepts together. We could do this separately, right? Without the dictionary, right? Idea is you may only have a dictionary of these tools. So it says 7-day moving average corresponds to this function actually, right? So I could do this also by hand. Let's see if I can do this. Escape B, right? I'll do this without the unpacking, right? So we take 2020, right? We take 2020, we drop columns year, we take 2020 actually, right? On the lock 2020 actually right here on starting from 2000. We don't need a year, of course, right? So let's go through these samples one by one. So this is, of course, as you can see, right? Yeah, up to here, right? No year. We drop the year. Again, chaining, heavy use of chaining. We chain. We drop something. We keep working on a newly, on a version of new. We keep working on a data frame. It has changed, right? But we keep working. Okay. So location, we took the year, the date here. Right? Again. If I said, yeah, January, right? I'll say February, right? Right? February, right? You see how I got February, right? That works. Okay? And so on again. So, okay, hopefully this, so I got February here. So all gets me all February. All of February. I mean, AI is so smart. How did it know that it's February? I don't know. How in the world did it figure this out? It's scary. It's pretty scary, right? Again, now let's do this again. Let's recreate this again. If you are afraid of this unpacking, right? It's just it is syntactic. It's a way of giving a sign method a dictionary. Why? Because it takes just an unlimited number of arguments. I could make a triple arguments. I could maybe let's say 30-day mean, right? Rolling 30-day mean. Sure, no problem, right? So I could do this, I could add, 30-day, right? Yeah, right? Easy, right? Thank you, AI. Very easy. I don't need a comma here, right? That's the only thing it messed up, right? And I have 30-day moving average. Okay, 7-day, right? Very good, easy to generate data. Okay, now let's do this by hand. Again, slower way, but nothing too much extra. So basically, I am going to take this part here, right? It should give me the same results, but just a slightly simpler syntax. So slightly simpler without unpacking. Something like this. And I'll do it myself. Right, exactly. You see? There's nothing, no magic here. Right, and that's it. I'm not going to do the third one, right? So just the 2, right? But I can keep going, of course, right? I can keep going, right, on TSA head, right? And you can see, invalid syntax, so maybe I made a mistake here. So now maybe that's why I can't do this. And let's see. Without unpacking, let's see, did I do it incorrectly? On 7-day, it's actually, I think it's like this. Yeah, I think it is this. No, let's think about it. And key, I think it's like this. Yeah. No. Or equal? No. And how did it work? Keyword. Let me see here. Let me see, did I make it incorrectly? Let's see, was it like keyword? I thought this worked like this. Again, maybe that's why she used this. You could do it like simply like this. No. Assign. Again, we have to check, of course, assign function. Takes keyword arguments. So documentation. Let's take a. Alright, let's check out documentation, because there is a simpler way to do this as well, right? Assign, right? We can just basically have a form. So temp. Well, yeah, okay, sorry. So it's like this. So yeah, there's a reason. So why? Because you can't do, right? I have to do this. Okay, this works. Okay, 7 day. This should work. It's a keyword. Yeah. That works. Temp A, yeah, that should work. Temp V. Why is it red? Sorry, D, right? So see, another reason. So 7. So I have to do something like this, right? Something silly like this, right? So that's one of the reasons why she did it, right? Because, yeah, you see, it works, but it's just different syntax, right? And now, of course, I can do it also. Year to the mean, yeah, and this also would work. Okay, so this would work. Yeah, okay, so this is slightly, again, so using this approach, right, so notice how this hand rolled approach, right, so without unpacking, right, you know, we can't have. Right, so that's basically the reason with, okay, right, so again, this is not little extra overhead, right? It unpacks these basically, right? Kind of nice actually, right? Kind of nice. I think this recipe is pretty nice. And again, you have a data frame here, right? You don't need to, you can do these operations before, right? And then you do the assign, right? You have nice little rolling average, and let's do it, right? So again, I'll do this here. Right, I change the direction, so TSA is 36.5, right? All right, if I do it here, all right, so I'm going to use plot, right? So instead of here, I can already do it. TSA, let's do this, right? Yeah, I already have it, since I already have the data. Since I already have the data, no, I cannot, the data frame, I can start plotting. Okay, TSA title, label, again, this is an old plot, so I should have something new, right? Travelers, we should see 30-day plot as well. Hopefully this will work. Again, can't promise you. And it worked, and we can see my 30-day moving average, the one I added, 7-day moving average, right, and year-to-day mean, right, and you have the travels. Of course, we can see nicely what in the world happened here. Of course, we all know this is COVID, right? Of course, as it is with most rolling averages, right, rolling averages, you know, they are not leading, what's the name, trailing indicators, right, the averages, of course, right, the smoother, you use them to smooth your data, right? So here you see how they trail, right? And of course, year average just drops slight, you know, is much more, you know, trails even more, obviously, right? Again, so very standard stuff in analyzing, you know, time series, you know, in general, you know, in finance and things like that. So hopefully this gives you an idea. Again, these are not meant to be maybe fully presentation graphs, more for you to explore. There are ways, we'll explore more, there are ways to make more, even more nicer graphs. Again, you can use Matplotlib to adjust. You can use, there's some other libraries such as Plotly, which I really like, right? There are other libraries. Okay, so a plot actually returns axis object. You can change, add extra things, and of course, right, we have, how much time we have, we'll see some more extra fancy things you can do, because a plot, right, plot actually returns something. This actually returns an axis object, which is something you can adjust which is a matplotlib object, you can adjust it further, right? So let's take a look, right? So we're going to have some plot data, and this looks like this is our we will plot vertical bars to compare monthly TSA traveler through across years. We're going to do a pivot table. So it's going to be melted holiday travel 19 to April, right? Again, because remember this works because these are labeled, I mean data frame, you know, so TSA melted travel again, right? We can see here, right? Info, right? Right, it is year travelers, year, I mean index, I believe also index data type, right? Index, you want to check the index, right? Index D type, right? It's a nanoseconds, actually it says nanoseconds or type. Maybe I can do info, I forget now, right? It's data type, right? Actually it is in nanoseconds, so it's a data type, right? So index is actually, so index is in, yeah, is datetime object, right? So again, so this is why it works again. So this is why we can select these rows. So by the way, this is here, right? This syntax, this backslash is used. So backslash, we use backslash to break up the line, right? Remember, because since, you know, to make it more readable, right? Yeah, to make, oh, thank you AI, it reads my mind. Again, scary stuff, right? So plot data equals TSA melted holiday travel, right? And we assign, so again, this cell does many things at once. It selects specific date range up to April of 21. We create a new column called months, index, you know, index months. So from the index we get the months out, right? And we do a pivot table. We want to get the table. So let's again, should be nicely on pivot table, months, years. Columns are going to be years, index months, right? And values will be travelers, and we're going to do sum across all of them. Aggregation function will be sum, so by each month we will aggregate. So let's take a look. Yeah, of course there's nothing in the May because we didn't select it, right? So I'll do head 12, of course, 12, right? Because, you know, or I could even skip the head, right? I could skip the head. Let's see if I do skip the head. Yeah, I see everything, right? I skip heads, of course. Right, so of course, obviously there's nothing to sum because we only got up to April. If I skipped March, of course, it would do skip this part here, right? Yeah, indeed it does. All right, I'll stick with the April because there might be some additional information needed from that April. Okay, so what we did is we pivoted, right, to years. So we create two columns from the years out of this TSA melted holiday data. Where was it? Where is, or again, to see how we rearrange it. TSA melted, right, again head, right, you see. So we moved all this information out, we pivot to the columns, right? And holiday we not use, here we don't using holiday data, right? And this is sum of, for every month and every, you know, year and month sum using aggregation function. Okay. Right, so we can change bar. Let's do bar chart. This is going to be a bar chart. So we're going to import calendar. We're going to import ticker. This is for extra. Ticker is, yeah, formatting plots. And of course, what calendar is, I think it's a standard. Right. And the question is now, is calendar is it going to be imported? That's, I don't remember offhand. I think calendar is standard. I think, but let's check. Right. So again, so data frame plot returns an axis object. Yeah. So we will see. So we're gonna plot first, right? But then we're gonna add some extra things afterwards, right? So you can adjust this within the same cell. You can adjust these drawings, these plots, these graphs. So let's see. So we have April. July, I mean, at the years, obviously we don't see anything for 21 here, right? Again, you can change size. By the way, we didn't do it here. You can change size. Let's do it size. Change plot size. Yeah, we can do inches. I like centimeters. I'm not an American, so even though I lived in America, but so I'll use centimeters, I think, right? I think it was centimeters, maybe millimeters. Let's do 20, or pixels maybe. Let's do like, I don't know, 5. Let's see if that works. I don't know. I'm just guessing. No, set size. Okay, yeah. Let's see. What was it? I forget now. Inches, still inches. Maybe I'll need to do math. I guess I need to do math, because of course America. Not really. Sorry, that's not right. It's inches. It is actually no. It is 8 times 2.5, right? 4, right? Roughly. Okay, it knows that much. Okay, but yeah, and of course 1.5 inches is right. Roughly 3 point. Yeah, roughly. It's pretty amazing at doing math. I mean, AI is sometimes amazing, sometimes not so great. So apparently, so it should be about 20 centimeters and 4 centimeters. I think that's pretty too little. I'll do like, okay, we'll do it. Let's do it. Yeah, it's a little better. Let's do 12 inches, right? Let's do 12 inches. Let's do 2.5 inches, right? So let's see if it does this for me. Come on. Yes. No, see, it tries to be smart, but not quite, right? Equals how much? Well, no. Okay, well, it's about 40. That's about what, 30 centimeters, right? It's 30 centimeters, right? No. 30 centimeters, roughly 30 centimeters, roughly 30 centimeters, right? Okay, and so on. Yeah, no, it's not centimeters. You see, it's not. Yeah, right. Yes, right. So 6.3. Okay, so sometimes it picks up things because again, sometimes these values have been used somewhere else. Okay. Let's see if we get our bigger plot. Yeah, that's nicer, right? We get a nicer, bigger plot. And again, we can save it, expand image. We can save this image actually right now. So some of these options were not present in previous versions. So you can save as. I'll save on my file. I'll say output. And this is actually, I can do SVG, right? Which is readable by PDF readers. Again, why SVG? Because this was, it's a vector format, right? We can do, okay, SVG. It's should be openable. Let's see how it worked. Where did I save it? Let's see, did I save it? Not here, but where is it? Or is it here? I didn't check actually where I was saving it. Maybe here. Let's do it again. It's in SheGoesTech. Okay, output. It's in here. It's in here. Oh, right. You notice how SVG is actually a vector format. So if I go to my open this file explorer, right, I should be able to see this in a right here. So the cool thing about this is since the vector formats scales really nicely forever, right? As big as small you want, you'll keep the perfect, the scaling will work perfectly. Of course, you can save as JPEG or PNG. I think also TIFF files if you want, right? So, but SVG is a nice format because it's, scale invariant, so to say, right? But again, that's because we set the setting, so it saves as SVG. All right. So I think that's enough for now, and hopefully it gives you a good start to use plotting in data frames. We learn how to do regular line plots, how to do this we saw in the beginning, right? We do line plots by default. We can do scatter plots, but there are some limitations. There's some other ways of plotting. Again, we can plot multiple line plots at once, no extra charge, and we can also set or display to graph. We can also expand image, right? I think, yeah, we can do this. And let's see, can I go back here? Not remove. I forgot how to do this, right? How did we go back? I think back. Now this is escape. No. Oh, that's the worse. Okay. Oh, plots. Oh, it's a plot. Okay, this is a separate window. Okay, but yeah. So we learned that, and in our follow-up we will see do more plotting. All right. Thank you.